I stood in the corner of the country club dining room, holding warm wine. My sister laughed. Finally, someone's being practical about Rachel's situation. The room went quiet for 3 seconds. Not shocked silence but polite agreement. Everyone believed I was struggling. Everyone thought my parents were helping. I set down my glass. The clink made my mother glance over, but she kept talking. Sentiment doesn't pay property taxes. I left without saying goodbye. That night I opened my laptop and the folder labeled Cape House Documentation. Inside, purchase records, deed transfers, tax payments, maintenance receipts. Everything organized. Everything notarized. I'd bought the house in 2019 with my grandmother's estate money, left specifically to me, not the family. Paid $340,000 cash. Renovated the kitchen for $48,000. Replaced the roof for $22,000. Property taxes of $8,400 annually for 5 years. My parents contributed $0. But they had keys. They'd stayed there dozens of times. They told everyone it was the family beach house. I didn't call them. I emailed Morrison & Chin, the law firm handling the closing. Subject: Property sale irregularity 47 Seabreeze Lane. I am the sole legal owner of this property. I have not authorized this sale. Any signatures are fraudulent. Please halt all proceedings. Attached: deed, purchase records, title insurance, 5 years of tax payments. I hit send at 11:47 p.m. The ghost ledger. I opened a spreadsheet that night. Not for calculations, I knew the numbers, but because some costs can't be measured in dollars. The ghost ledger: emotional costs. Thanksgiving 2021. Arrived to find parents hosting friends at family beach house. My reservation ignored. Cost: weekend of peace. Summer 2022. Asked parents not to loan house to sister. Found them there anyway. Sister, don't be territorial. Cost: boundary respect. Tax payment reminders. 2019 to 2024 sent 20 emails to parents. All ignored. They remembered every holiday gathering there. Cost: recognition as owner systematically erased. Christmas 2023. Mother's comment: Rachel's house that we all share. 8 people nodded. I said nothing. Cost: self-advocacy traded for false peace. Father's joke at graduation: Rachel's little investment property, while discussing my teacher budget. Never mention my hedge fund analyst salary. Cost: professional identity concealed to avoid jealousy. Sister's yearly assumption: when you can't afford it anymore, we'll buy it from you. Price never discussed. Ownership never questioned. Cost: future security presumed temporary. 47 lines total. Each moment I'd chosen family harmony over truth. Each small surrender that accumulated into their belief they could sell what was mine. I'd treated my family like a slot machine, feeding in silence and accommodation, waiting for recognition that never came. The machine was rigged. Wednesday morning, 9:14 a.m. I was teaching a derivatives workshop when my phone buzzed. Morrison & Chin Law Firm. I stepped into the hallway. This is Rachel Morrison. Ms. Morrison, David Chin, closing attorney for Seabreeze Lane. I received your email. I've reviewed your documentation. Professional. Careful. Your deed is legitimate. Properly recorded. Title insurance active. And your parents presented a power of attorney authorizing them to sell on your behalf. My stomach dropped. I never signed one. I suspected. The notary seal looked irregular. We've sent it for forensic examination. Long pause. Ms. Morrison, if forged, this is attempted real estate fraud. Multiple felonies. The buyers wired $20,000 earnest money. Your parents' agent calculated her $24,600 commission. What happens now? Transaction frozen. I'm required to report suspected fraud to the Massachusetts Bar and potentially law enforcement. The agent, Diane Foster, is under investigation. If she knew or should have known about fraudulent documentation, her license is at risk. What do you need? Notarized affidavit stating you never authorized the sale. Signature exemplars. And Ms. Morrison, consider filing a police report. This protects you if they've attempted other fraudulent transactions. I'll have everything by Friday. One more thing. The Hendersons asked if you'd sell to them legitimately. They're embarrassed. Tell them no. The house was never for sale. Thursday, I visited Marcus Webb, my attorney from my grandmother's estate. He examined the power of attorney. Held it to light. Used a magnifying glass. Amateur hour, he said. The notary seal is from New Hampshire. You live in Massachusetts. The date claims you signed January 2024, but this notary's commission didn't start until March 2024. He looked up. Your parents didn't even hire a competent forger. Meaning, they did this themselves or paid someone stupid. The confidence to present this to a law firm is staggering. He leaned back. How much is the property worth? Probably $520,000. They sold it for $410,000. His jaw tightened. They undervalued your asset by $110,000 for a quick sale. That's not just fraud, that's theft with a specific dollar amount. Procedural justice. The machinery ground forward. Monday, police report filed with Cape Cod PD. Detective Sarah Pham took my 90-minute statement. Photographed documents. Asked if I wanted to press charges. I said yes. Tuesday, forensic examiner confirmed forgery. Deliberate simulation attempt with multiple inconsistencies. The notary, Martin Torres, confirmed he'd never notarized anything for me. He filed his own complaint. Wednesday, Massachusetts bar opened investigation into the Plymouth law firm that drafted the document. That attorney facing separate complaints didn't respond. Thursday, real estate board investigated Diane Foster. She never verified ownership. Never requested original deed. Never confirmed identity. Accepted my parents' word they had authority to act. Friday, David Chin sent formal termination letter. Transaction permanently terminated due to fraudulent documentation. Copied the Hendersons, my parents, Diane Foster. Noted his obligation to report the fraud. The following Monday, my parents received 3 letters. Police Department, Real Estate Board, and the Hendersons' attorney threatening to sue for emotional distress. My mother called. What did you do? She screamed. The police called your father. They're talking about charges. Diane might lose her license. I was on my deck drinking coffee watching birds. Peaceful morning. I sent documentation proving I own the house. I never authorized the sale. That house is family property. No, Mom. It's my property. I bought it with Grandma's money she left to me specifically. I've paid every expense for 5 years. You contributed $0. We've maintained it. We've hosted. You've used it. Using something doesn't make you own it. That's not how property law works. My father grabbed the phone. Voice shaking. You filed a police report against your own parents? Over a misunderstanding. Dad, you forged a power of attorney. That's fraud. Multiple felonies. We were trying to help you. That property is a burden you can't afford. I'm a portfolio manager at Stonebridge Capital. I make $240,000 a year. I could buy 3 more houses without blinking. You assumed I was struggling because I drive a Honda and don't discuss money at family dinners. Silence. Long enough I checked if the call dropped. You make $240,000? My mother's voice, distant. Since 2020. But you were committed to the story of Rachel the struggling teacher. You never asked what I actually do. You decided my success was impossible and your intervention was necessary. This is insane, my father said. You're destroying this family over a house? You tried to steal a $520,000 asset and sell it $110,000 below market. You forged documents. You involved family friends in fraud. You risked an agent's career. I paused. I didn't destroy anything. I refused to pretend property theft is family harmony. We would have given you the money, my mother shouted. You'd give me money from selling my own house? I laughed. Do you hear yourself? He hung up. Consequences. The real estate board investigation took 6 weeks. Diane Foster's license suspended 18 months. She'd facilitated 3 similar transactions without proper verification. My case triggered serious consequences. The Plymouth attorney was disbarred. He'd been creating fake documents for years, helping people seize property from family members, elderly relatives, ex-spouses. My parents weren't charged criminally. The DA called it civil since no money changed hands, but they paid the Hendersons $15,000 to settle. Paid Diane Foster $8,000 for legal fees. The social cost was worse. The Hendersons stopped speaking to them. The story spread through the country club. Did you hear what the Morrisons tried to do? Tried to sell their daughter's house without telling her. Nearly cost Diane her license. My sister called once. You could have just talked to them. I did. For 5 years. I asked them not to give out keys. To stop calling it the family house. To remember I owned it. They nodded and continued exactly as before. Family is supposed to forgive. I didn't cut them off for trying to sell my house. I cut them off for thinking they had more right to my property than I did. For forging documents rather than having one honest conversation. She hung up. 6 months later, I'm on the deck of my Cape Cod house. The one my parents tried to sell. The one they never learned I'd bought with my own money, renovated with my own planning. My phone has been quiet for months. No crisis calls. No emergencies requiring my intervention. No assumptions I'll accommodate whatever they decide. The silence feels different than expected. Not empty. The ocean stretches toward the horizon, that impossible distance where water meets sky. Property value increased to $535,000. I refinanced at a better rate. Monthly savings go into future Cape renovations. No one tells me I'm impractical. No one suggests I'm in over my head. No one implies my ownership is temporary, conditional, subject to family consensus. Marcus Webb sent a card. Property rights aren't selfish. They're foundational. Congratulations on defending yours. I host friends now. Real friends who ask before visiting. Who contribute to groceries. Who respect this is my home, not communal resource. Last weekend, a colleague asked if I regret how everything unfolded. I thought about the ghost ledger. 47 instances of small surrenders feeding the machine that demanded my silence. I thought about my parents' faces realizing I wasn't the struggling daughter they'd invented. The daughter whose assets could be liquidated for her own good. I thought about the closing attorney. If forged, we're looking at multiple felonies. No, I told my colleague. I don't regret it. I regret waiting 5 years to send one email. The house stands solid. Weathered shingles, new roof, kitchen I chose. Every nail paid for with my money. Every decision made without permission. The property isn't for sale. It never was. And now everyone knows it. The account is closed. The boundaries are set. And I am finally home.